Good morning, Luxley Bears. Today is January 13th, 2017. My name is Elijah Creech. I'm in Miss Cox's class. Today's high temperature will be 72 degrees. There is 20 chance of rain. Please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Grab the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hi, my name is Preston Mott. I am in Miss Cox's class. Please join me in care. Seek unprepared, act safe, or respect others and be expect the best. Happy birthday to James Billingsley, Alexander, Kathleen, Lily Jameson, Lachlan Asper, Sam Sims, and Miss O'Neill. Make it a great day.
Good morning, boys and girls. Happy Friday. I want to read you a story this morning, and it's Happy Birthday, Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King was a great leader, and his birthday is this Sunday. And because of that, and celebrating Martin Luther King, we will be off Monday, boys and girls, so we will not be in school. Martin Luther King Jr. was born on January the 15th, 1929 in Atlanta, Georgia. His parents loved him very much. Martin Luther King had the same name as his father, except for one thing. His father was called Martin Luther King Sr. Martin Luther was called Martin Luther King Jr. Martin went to elementary school, high school, and college in Atlanta. He was a good student. Later, he went to divinity school in Pennsylvania. Martin became a pastor, just like his dad, as the Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta. They were both called Reverend. The Reverend Martin Luther King Sr. and the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. Martin's job as minister was to help people in need. He visited sick people in the hospital and made them feel better. He'd go around and talk to them and pray with them. He asked people not to fight with each other. He said that there were peaceful ways to solve problems. And we talked about that here, boys and girls. There's better ways to solve problems than to fight. And like his father, Martin led people in prayer and song. The Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. is famous because he helped our country change some of its laws. A law is like a rule. And once there was a law in some places that said only white people could sit in the front of the bus and that black people had to sit in the back. Martin Luther King said this law needed to be changed. Rosa Parks, another famous person, helped him change this law. Now all people can sit anywhere they want to on a bus, boys and girls. Once there were laws in some places that said that African Americans could use only certain restaurants and drinking fountains. This one is one of those. It's showing that. Martin Luther King and many other people helped change these laws. Now all people can share the same restaurants and drinking fountains. And once there was a law in some places that said that black children and white children could not go to school together. And Martin Luther King and other people, including many very brave children, had this change too. Now black children and white children can go to school together. Martin Luther King had a special talent for leadership. When he spoke, people listened. Poor people, rich people, white people, black people, and people from all around the world listened when Martin Luther King spoke. Many helped him work, march, sing, and pray for justice. In the summer of 1963, Boys and girls, I was 3 years old then. Martin Luther King Jr. gave the most famous speech of his life. He gave it outdoors to 250,000 people who had come to Washington, D.C., that's where our White House is, to ask presidents for jobs and freedom for Black people. In his speech, Martin Luther King said that he had a dream. His dream was that people everywhere would learn to live together without being mean to one another. So he just wanted everybody to live together in peace. Martin Luther King Jr. was shot and killed in 1968 because he loved poor people so much. He was given a special funeral in Atlanta, Georgia, where he was born. His body was put in a simple farm cart and pulled slowly by 2 mules to a cemetery. Thousands of people walked behind Martin in a sad, loving parade. On his gravestone were carved these beautiful words, "Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, I'm free at last." Martin Luther King wanted people to be able to go places together, share food together, and love one another in peace. Because he worked so hard for freedom and helped so many people gain it, we honor him every year on his special day. We call this day Martin Luther King Day, and we say to him, "Happy birthday, Martin Luther King." And that day is Sunday, and we will celebrate being off on Monday. Have a wonderful day, boys and girls.